In this video, I will give you an update on Jamie Webber's move to Kaizer Chiefs. It's looking good. And I will also talk to you about Andile Jali. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pelo. I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Khosi Football Club. Transfer news. It's getting heated up. Let's start with Jamie Webber. Hey. Things got interesting because earlier on this week, we talked about how Jamie Webber is linked with the Chiefs, how Mancave wants him, has identified him as a player who fits his style and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Apparently, what I didn't mention in the other video was the fact that I didn't know when his contract was expiring. Apparently, according to SABC Sports, his contract expires this June, which means any team could have him as a free agent. But why was this not mentioned before? This was not mentioned before because SuperSport United had an option to extend the contract by a further year. The same thing that happened with Umtanzane Cape Town City. His contract ends this June, but Cape Town City had an option to extend and then they exercised it. But when it comes to SuperSport, the date to extend the contract by 1 year has lapsed, and because of that the date has passed. So now that means anyone who wants the player can just go in and sign the player, because now the team has basically given up their right to exercise the right to extend, which means this makes sense why Chiefs wanted him, because they looked at him as well and they thought if SuperSport fails or forgets to extend the contract of this player, then we'll pounce. The same thing that they did to Tuti, by the way, because the way that Stan Matthews sounded when he was talking about Tuti, it sounded like they still wanted to extend the contract of the player. But then Chiefs, since it was January and he could talk to anyone, Chiefs jumped in and they signed him and they got him out of SuperSport United's hands. Same thing is happening now with Jamie Webber. Chiefs identified an opportunity and they waited and waited. And now this thing of extending a contract, Gaga Webber, seems like it's not happening. And now Chiefs can just sign him on a pre-contract and then make the relationship between us and SuperSport even worse. But there's no one, they can't blame Chiefs because they are the ones who have been irresponsible. So if Chiefs really want to Jamie Webber, then this is the break that they've been looking for. They can go sign him for free. In this video, I will not be commenting much about Webber and how he plays. What I do know right now is that SuperSport are not utilizing him that much. He has started from the bench a lot of times, and 10 times and 4 times he came on as a sub, 10 times he started the games, but he's not like their important player, which is why I think they even forgot to renew or to extend the contract here to make sure Guti or Chiefs and whoever might be wanting him don't come and pounce. Which, by the way, is weird to me because the reports earlier on this week were suggesting Guti SuperSport want to sell him to a team abroad. But how are they going to sell him to a team abroad if they haven't exercised their option to extend his contract? It doesn't make sense. It really does not make any sense. Anyways, we move to another player. Anyways, before we go to the other player, Andile Jali, please do like the video. If you're enjoying it, it helps me to reach more people like you. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. In this channel, we speak everything that has to do with the Kaizer Chiefs. We preview Kaizer Chiefs matches. We react to Kaizer Chiefs matches. We talk about Kaizer Chiefs transfer news. We also have my live streams every weekday from Monday to Friday at 7:30, where you guys can talk to me. I can talk to you live and we interact and discuss the issues of that given day. We also have a match watch along, by the way. So please do subscribe. And you can become a member of this channel. It's only 20 rands per month. You get early access to content, priority reply to your comments, and you also get badges next to your name when you comment, and we can see that you are a member of the channel. Anyways, on to Jali. I can say, according to Post, Andile Jali is not going to Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs are out of the race. We've talked about this. What are the reasons in the age, in the discipline and stuff like that? Uguti Chiefs were not interested in him. But there is a team that is interested in him, and I already it's Stellenbosch. This is good news for me because I didn't want to Jali Chiefs, But it could be good news for you as well who wanted Jali or a defensive midfielder at Chiefs for that matter. Because of this, the advantage of Jali going to Stellenbosch is that he will be a starter, which means Umthetho will not be a starter unless Steve Barker wants to start with 2 defensive midfielders. Because if Jali goes to Stellenbosch, that means Umthetho will be the second choice defensive midfielder, which means then as a player he won't be happy to be playing second fiddle to anyone, and that means the Chiefs can go in and get Umthetho from there and bring him to the Chiefs. Those are the good news. And the bad news though, the bad news is that Jali going to Stellenbosch, we know the reason why he's going there is, or he might be going there, is because Steve Barker gave Jali his debut and blah blah blah. So they've worked together before, and that is why I'm saying he would prefer him over Umthetho, because you don't sign Jali and put him on a bench, right? So I'm saying the disadvantage is that we know Stellenbosch have just said, oh no, we're not selling our best players to nobody, right? So that basically means Stellenbosch are in a position where they want to compete at the highest level. Their management have told them, we're not selling anyone, and they've indicated this thing, we want to compete. We want to finish at the highest point possible. And that also means keeping all the best players, having a good depth. And we talked about this with the Chiefs. You look at our bench at times, you look at our starters, you're like, okay. But you look at the bench, you're like, who can come off the bench and have an impact? So it could be the same thing that will be sold to Umthetho. Listen, you will be rotating with Jali. Is not necessarily going to start ahead of you all the time. There's a rotator because we are aiming to go to Champions League. So if you stay, you are going to be playing maybe Champions League games or the league games and vice versa, or just playing minutes and 60 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 30 minutes. At the end of the day, you will be playing, and you will be playing in a very good team that has quality players and competing. So it depends on how you look at it. If you look at it from the glass full kind of person, then you are thinking, okay, we're getting Umthetho. But if you are looking at the position, Stellenbosch is trying to build a super team, then you will know, okay, Chiefs are definitely missing out on a good signing here. But at this point, I am glad to as much as we are sort of looking like we're desperate at this point, we have not told ourselves we are going to do everything that we can to sign Jali. We have made a decision, we're not signing Jali, and we're sticking with that decision. I do hope we do have a plan to sign a defensive midfielder. Guys, what do you think about Jamie Webber coming to Chiefs, and what do you think about Andile Jali as well going to Stellenbosch United? Do you think this opens up a chance for Chiefs to sign Umthetho? Let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, remember, Khosi, I'll pay you more.